the full moon in Taurus happening November 5th. Yeah, I want to talk about it. So, let's talk about it. So, the full moon in Taurus. So the sun right now is in Scorpio. I'm pretty sure Venus is in Libra, about to enter Scorpio, but Mars and Mars and Mercury, I believe, are in Sagittarius. So I wanted to talk about a lot of the four different stages of Scorpio, because if you're not familiar, I practice magic, and if you hear cars, I'm like parked at a let's see, besides the point, nobody here cares. Well, yeah, but I'm like parked by the water on the beach, but it's like close to like the bridge, so I'm like by the bridge, so if you hear cars. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so the 4 stages of Scorpio. It's been Scorpio season, so maybe that's why I've been so like focused on that those powers, or that part of the system, whatever. It makes sense. The sun is in Scorpio, so I've been focusing on like the 4 stages of Scorpio, which this is actually something I teach in my magic courses, but I guess I'll talk about it for the purposes of I'll just talk about it. But yeah, the 4 stages of Scorpio, which are the Scorpion, which is the first stage, it's the baby stage, and then you have the Snake. Maybe I should turn at an angle. Yeah, anyways, so yeah, then you have this Snake, which is like the second stage. It's like sophomore stage, or whatever, if you think about it like in terms of that. And then you have the Eagle stage, and then finally 4th you have the Phoenix stage, which is the final form. Now, to me, the Phoenix stage bleeds over into the next sign, which is Sagittarius. So, essentially, you should want to be like an evolved Scorpio, or at least be able to tap into those energies, or I'm trying to protect my computer from being like scorched by the sun. But yeah, so essentially you would want to be able to maneuver or function on the higher levels of Scorpio. You want to, that's how you would want to function. Ideally, like all aspects of it are good. There's no like good or bad, but being able to function on the higher levels is essential. So so obviously the sign after Scorpio is the evolved form of Scorpio or the previous sign. So, yeah, I always associate Phoenix with Sagittarius. So, anyways, those are the 4 forms. So, with the magic system is like just working with archetypes and also like perspectives, like just using different perspectives. So with these 4 different levels of Scorpio, you just move on different spectrums of behavior or different levels of consciousness. Maybe I'll just say it like that. So if the Scorpion level is like the baby, that's the like lower evolved form. And this is where you would like to sting back. Like you like to sting people probably just for fun. Or you would like to just I don't know, like you're like a thief, or like you just lower level. You behave in lower level ways, like wait for the sirens to go. Like, okay, so you could probably be like someone who goes after someone else's crumbs, or like, you get what I mean? Like, I don't know, like scorpions are damn near like bugs. I don't know, they're like, I guess they could probably be considered as animals, or they probably consider animals, but I don't know, they seem like it's like a bug. It's like, yeah. So yeah, so you could think about like lower level things like that. Like they probably wouldn't eat the same thing like a bigger animal would eat. Like a bigger animal probably would eat something more just different, something more sustainable, versus what a scorpion would need to sustain itself. You would probably just need like crumbs or like smaller. Yeah, I probably should see what scorpions actually eat. But yeah, so that's that's the essence of a scorpion. Actually, I wanted to associate it with the emotional scale, like just to kind of like break it up into quadrants. Let me go to the emotional scale so that we can equate it with actual emotions, the different levels of the scorpion or Scorpio in general. So I will put it at yes. Okay. So is this the only scale let me get another one. Even though this one, I'm pretty sure this one is accurate, but damn, what is up with all the fucking sirens? Like, all the sirens are out today. The firefighters. What the fuck is that? It's an ambulance. Let's pray that whoever needed the fucking ambulance is okay. So, anyways, I hope I'm not talking too loud, because there are people like looking at me. But anyways, so back to what I was saying. So yeah, so with the scorpion, I would associate those with the lower level emotions on the emotional scale, which is like fear and then down, like fear all the way down to shame. So fear, grief, apathy, guilt, and shame, which is from 100 to 200. I mean, from 100 to 20 on the emotional scale. So I will associate that with the scorpion stage. So if you're constantly in fear, grief, guilt, or shame, you're focused, like you're behaving in the lower levels of Scorpio, or just in general emotionally. But I'm just saying in Scorpio. You get what I'm saying? Okay, cool. So if we move up to the next part, which is the snake, I would associate that with desire, and I would take it up to about I would take it up to courage. Do I want to take it up to courage, or try to take it up to pride? See, this is where me going live with like actual people to like bounce back and forth with, this would help. But I'm gonna say up to, so for snake, we'll say courage, pride, anger, and desire. So courage is 200 on the scale. Pride is 175, anger is 150, and desire is 125. So those four are the snake consciousness, we'll say. Yeah, so if we move on to the next level after the snake, we have the eagle. And the eagle is neutrality up to reason. So reason is 400 on the scale. Acceptance is 350 on the scale. And then you have willingness, that's around like 310. And then you have neutrality, which is 250 on the scale. So that is like the hawk consciousness. And this, when you think about a hawk, it flies, first of all. A snake does not fly. A snake slithers. But a snake does have the ability to travel further distance than a scorpion. In theory, just because it's a bigger animal and it's like an actual animal, not like bug or whatever the fuck a scorpion is. But yeah. So the eagle can fly. So it travels bigger distances. And it can have nests. It can have multiple nests, honestly. I guess like scorpions and snakes can have multiple homes too. But a bird can travel way more further than them in like seconds or like in a day. It's like the distance is like astronomical that a bird can travel versus a snake or a scorpion. So another thing with a bird, a hawk specifically, they have better vision. They have incredible vision. Actually, that takes me back to, I gotta go back to the snake for a bit, just because the snake versus the scorpion. A scorpion has like harder skin. I don't know if it's like a shell, but the scorpion has like a harder exterior, whereas it has claws, it has the stinger, but it's just harder and it's more grounded. Whereas a snake can travel on water, in water, and it's also more sensitive, way more sensitive. So the sensitivity, it can be a weakness, but it also can be a strength, just because they can feel things coming way for, like, their senses are heightened, so they can sense stuff more easily than what a scorpion might be able to sense. And they're also it's just being a more sensitive person or being or thing, animal, whatever. You have to make up for that in some ways. That comes with some added bonuses, some different abilities. If we move on and take it to what's next, yeah, so we could talk back about the fucking hawk now, I guess. The hawk is reason, acceptance, willingness, and neutrality. If you notice with these emotions on the scale, that those are the most how do you say, it's the most intellectual on the scale in general, like in all, they're the most airy emotions, if those are even emotions, like reason, acceptance, willingness, neutrality. I don't know, all of those give very much air as hell. And if you were to notice with these 4 different stages, or these 4 different animals, 4 different versions of Scorpio, you could kind of break them down into 4 different elements as well too. So the first one, the scorpion, would be like earth, just because it's like in the earth, or it's just of the earth, it's on the earth, in dry areas usually, like deserts and shit. But if you take it to the snake, it could be like associated with the water element. They slither, it's watery. They can swim in the water. They can survive in the water. So yeah, we'll associate those with water. It's just more of an intuitive, way of moving or being. So, what the hell is theirs to me? Her. God damn it. Y'all, I'm so messy, like, and I keep saying it's like, it's something so comforting about being messy. And I just been so busy, like, with all of this damn, these props and shit, and it's just like so much, just so much stuff. I found the hair. I found the fucking hair. So, keep the laptop safe. Okay. Now, so back to what I was saying. What was I saying? Shit. I was saying that I totally forgot what I was saying. Anyways, the eagle is airy. And those emotions on the scale that represent the eagle are just airy. Reason, acceptance, willingness, and neutrality are the most airiest. I don't know. But anyways, the eagle, you could think about it, it's above the emotions, especially the lower emotions, but it's above the emotions, period. So when you tap into that stage of Scorpio, it's like you have the bird's eye view. You know, like, you've read books, you know the basic of psychology, or the strengths of psychology, and you know, like, can't take everything personal. You can't take anything personal. And you just know you have different tactics. You can move above the lower emotions that make you act in lower ways, usually. Or sometimes lower emotions will have you react in ways that are lower, is at that level. Because you just lack the awareness like somebody with the mindset of a millionaire. They come from like, like a family of millionaires. It'll be harder for them to get to a level of consciousness that is at the lower Scorpion level, to where they feel like they have to steal. They won't feel like they have to steal. They'll feel like, okay, I have a cousin here, or a friend in this city, so I could just do this. Or there's a fruit tree over there, I can just go get some fucking fruit off the tree, versus like going to a grocery store and just grabbing what I want and like leaving. So that's just one example of having a higher view versus a lower view, and just moving in negative ways, actually, or harmful ways. So I guess I can move on from that into the final stage, which is the Phoenix. I don't know if I already mentioned that the Phoenix is the final stage, but it's the final stage. Yeah, I did. I talked about Sagittarius. But yeah, so the Phoenix is the final form of the Scorpio evolution. And this one would be more associated with the element fire. Obviously, Phoenix, if you're not familiar with what a Phoenix is, it's a mythical bird. And it basically is like on fire, or it's like cast on fire and it dies, but then it's like reborn in the ashes, and then it's like fiery bird again. And that's just the basic like life cycle of it. Like it dies, come out of life, dies, come out of life. But it's this powerful mythical bird that's like, it can't die. So that's basically the stage you want to get to with Scorpio, where nothing can move you emotionally that like kills you, destroys you, or brings you to like a lower state, at least not for long. Like you might die, but you'll come back to that full like firebird at some point. Like you might start the cycle over where you just get back to like your Scorpion stage for a little bit, but you have the awareness of being at the higher stages, so it's easier for you to evolve back into that final form. So what else can I talk about? So the final emotions on the emotional scale for the final emotions on the emotional scale for the Scorpio, or whatever, is enlightenment, which is the highest on the emotional scale. You have enlightenment, and then you have peace, and then you have joy, and then you have love. So love is like the lowest emotion that the Phoenix can go, or that the Phoenix operates on, which is level 500 on the emotional scale. So enlightenment is level 700. Peace is 600, and joy is around 540, and then love is 500. So the Phoenix archetype doesn't operate below the love frequency. So when you think about the Phoenix, you would think about like even disease. When you think about disease, it operates more on like the lower emotional scale, or lower emotions, like fear and grief and like shame. All of those emotions usually breed disease, or they create disease. Damn, Coda, what are you doing? Nigga. Damn. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, those lower emotions breed disease. So, when you operate more at the higher frequencies, it's like no disease can exist there. So, Dakota, go lay down, please. So, if you basically operate at the higher emotions at a more frequent rate, more commonly, like the disease wouldn't be able to exist there, it would dissipate, basically. So, that's if you're using like the Scorpio archetype in order to create change in the way of like health or clearing disease, because usually the Scorpio archetype is what creates the disease. Yeah, I guess Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, I would say it's like a part of like the creation of a disease or the realm of disease. That's kind of whether they exist to me. So yeah, so I guess that's it for the final form. So yeah, that's what I have today. I don't know why I chose to talk about that on this Taurus full moon. That's like Scorpio shit, but it's Scorpio season, and the full moon in Scorpio means that the moon is opposite the sun in Scorpio. So that is what I chose to talk about today. But yeah, anyways, that was my video for the full moon. I'm gonna continue working on this damn hair and do some more homework, and then go get something to eat. Or go get something to eat and then finish doing my homework in my hair. Alright. TTYL. See you in the next video.